All right, we are live.
Hello, hello, everyone.
Okay, so I
I
got
don't know how many people are watching.
at the moment 0.
Well, hello, nobody.
Hello, everyone who watches this after the fact.
Hello, everyone from the future.
No, last week we had a lot less people at the beginning, and then it picked up later to the normal amount of like 5 people. Just because
Nice.
last week was the first week starting a little bit later, and I don't know how to have messages that go out to my thing when I'm not on. So, obviously, Jake said he'll be a minute. Erica is satiating our son. Thomas has been sick for the last little bit, so we're kind of just letting him chill and use his energy, even if that means staying up later and raving to things like Enrique. So, what's the occasion for the rave?
Trying out my lights.
Sweet.
My
Okay.
little station is set up. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, I need to grab something. I'll be back in a moment.
How are you guys?
Doing all right. How are you?
Doing good.
Good.
Just causing trouble.
Oh, babe, do you need me to grab the water from downstairs? Okay, I'll go grab that. Huh? Okay, you sure? Okay, I'm going to take a moment and write down a prompt for us for today. I feel like it's a better place than last time was.
I hope it's a good prompt. I don't want to turn to the dark side.
You feel prompted to turn to the dark side.
You gotta look at the screen though. Going to the dark side. I'm just playing with the lights.
You would be.
I know.
You would be.
It's not. Yeah, but
Gonna play a dark side user in my campaign, Enrique.
that that would be fun.
Speaking of which, did you get to talk to Kayla yet, Parley, or is she the only one who you haven't spoken to?
No, I messaged her when I messaged everyone else.
Okay.
She hasn't said yes or no yet.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Did you update Jake or Enrique on what we were thinking timing wise?
Oh,
What do you mean?
Just like schedule for that. Because you and I had
I'm not
talked
sure
about
what
that.
I want to do 100% yet,
Okay.
so
Well,
until
what?
then, I
Yeah,
don't want to let anyone know.
that's fine. Then I will say nothing.
Good.
Keep it super mysterious.
Master
I gave a very,
Skywalker. Oh, go ahead, Jake.
I gave a very enthusiastic conditional yes to his invitation. So,
Conditional? What's the condition?
oh, that I mean, I told you, but the way you described it, it sounds like it probably wouldn't be a problem anyway. So,
All right, you're out of the campaign.
No, come on, no, I'm actually really excited. Oh. I've wanted to do Star Wars RPGs like for a while.
It's like literally Pathfinder Star Wars too. There will obviously be a lot of mechanics that you're gonna have to get used to, and things are gonna be tremendously slowed down. In fact, this is my first time DMing, and I, for some reason, picked. Maybe I should just do like a regular Pathfinder campaign first, like a one shot at least, and then do the Star Wars. Because I'm doing a new system as well as a new position at the same
Maybe.
time. It's gonna
Yeah.
be the pace is gonna be at like a crawl. So, yeah,
I
we'll
think
see.
no matter what, we'll have a good time.
I don't know about that, but I
As
like
long
your
as I get to
attitude.
be- as long as I get to be a bodacious Twi'lek, then we're good.
You absolutely can play a Twilight.
Can your name be bodacious?
Be as bodacious as you'd like.
My name is Bodacious Bow. All right, I'm going to drop the prompt in. And I'm not sure if this would have come up as kind of conversation at any point or not among your party, but I'm going to still drop it in for everyone to respond to, and we can kind of have a quick in-character discussion about that. But the prompt for today is going to be, what conditions would cause you to view Zelkir as a lost cause and no longer worth fighting for? So
Send this directly to you or in the general chat?
I sent it to. No, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to have each of you go around, kind of like what we did before. It's, I mean, I'm trying this just as kind of a way for us to get to know each other's characters, and I might change my mind about it later. In-person sessions, what I've always done is kind of, I've seen it done where everyone's kind of given a thing and they respond to it, but I want to handle things a little differently since we're on Twitch and digital.
Is this out of character, or are we answering in character?
In character, preferably.
Okay.
So, Gabriel, or I guess welcome, Kayla. Good to have you here. I dropped a prompt for us to answer in character. Oh, actually, before we start, announcement for our viewers. Sadly, Cameron is having to leave the campaign. Family issues and just time commitments pulled him away, and so he will not be able to remain. So that is Sin, and we are very sad to see him go. But I've told him that if he's ever free for the night, he's very welcome to pop back in. But yeah, so Cameron is no more, though Sin is still alive and well. Well, injured, but alive and well. And we'll address that in game in a few minutes here. But for now, the prompt, Gabriel, would you speak first? I'm just going to go in the order that I have.
Speak about the prompt.
Yes.
What conditions would cause me to leave Zelkir as a lost cause and no longer worth fighting for? That is a little bit tricky. Because I, because Gabriel, I don't know exactly where it came from. I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do. And everything has pointed to me leaving, to coming to Zelkir and getting rid of the undead here. It will have to be, I'll have to see several omens or signs, about maybe 5 or 7 signs, omens telling me that I need to leave, for me to leave. But besides that, I'm here to stay until things are taken care of.
Okay. And just a reminder, there is no need to divulge any information about your backstory or anything in the answer to this question. Answer it the way that you would answer it to the rest of your party. Um, okay. Thank you,
That might have
Gabriel.
been nice to know.
I apologize. I don't think you said too much, but
I don't think I said too much. No.
yeah, just kind of throwing
Too
that
late
out
to
there.
apologize.
Okay. Well, then here we are. Erica had to go grab Thomas real quick. So, Jake, would you go next? Or, sorry, Jasper, would you go next?
Oh, my secret identity.
It has only been spoken out loud like 36 times.
Now, why would anyone ask a question like that? What would have to happen for me to find that Zelkior is a lost cause, no longer worth fighting for? I mean, I find that noble to save this land, these people that are terrorized by this pure evil. Even if Zelkier were a lost cause, I think that the threat that we face is still... It still needs to be addressed one way or the other. How do I say it? All this talk of afterlife and the soul going on, and one way or another, everyone's living forever. I'm not sure about that. I wouldn't consider myself devout, but I've been a servant to Pharasma for many years, and something that I've uncovered is actually kind of interesting. That everything, even those spirits that Pharasma judges and assigns to their respective afterlives, everything will actually come to an end. All life eventually. In other words, no one's meant to live forever, and these undead are in opposition to that, and all they seek is to mangle and corrupt the very fabric of reality that they exist in, and that needs to be stopped. And that's why I'm so passionate about destroying every last one of them. So long as I live, I will give them their rest until I find my rest. You're muted.
We
Oh,
can't
is it
hear
my
you.
turn?
Still can't hear.
Hello?
We're talking to Taggart.
Oh.
I'm muted. Maleth, what would cause you to consider Zelkier a lost cause?
Probably if there was nobody left but undead, or if the people remaining were completely apathetic to what was going on and no longer desired any assistance. But then it seems like they'd be a threat to other places, but that's when you go to protect those places.
Nomad.
I don't believe that any cause is ever truly lost. Because while this land may get overrun and we may all die, there's something always much greater at stake with wars like this. The example that we set, the precedent that we show people that do things like this, people that would murder and rob and destroy lands. If we show them that we're the kind of people that will lose hope, that will abandon our lands when things get too rough, then this is only going to start happening everywhere. So even if this land is lost and we all die, as long as we stay here and fight, this is a cause that I'm willing to die for. For the example that we can show everyone else. That, sure, they can take our land, but we're damn well not going to make it easy for them.
Hestia.
I think for me, I just want to make sure that we're defending people. If there are no people, there's nothing worth defending anymore. But as long as there's one person left, I'm with Nomad on this.
All right. Who would like to give us a recap of what happened last time?
Kayla would.
Me? I'm struggling to remember what happened last time myself. Sorry, I had a late nap today,
You're good.
and I am adjusting.
Hestia, you kind of led the
Um,
charge last time. Or Kayla, if you don't want to, we could have somebody else if you're not feeling
Yeah,
up for
let's
it at the
have
moment.
someone else just because, like, I got up early enough to be alert for session after the nap, but not to actually remember.
Not a problem. Hopefully it'll all come
Thank
back
you.
to you soon. Much like
Yeah, sorry, it's just been a busy, stressful day entirely. So.
Last time we were in the lair of a necromancer. Nomad and I led the charge by going downstairs into a hallway where we found Nomad's old friend who seemed to be of his order turned necromancer. And with him, we noticed that there's something going on down the hall, and someone was trying to. Two other necromancers were trying to summon some wights, and we interrupted their summoning spell, but a little too late for them to not summon wights. So we fought them. We had a talk with Nomad's old friend, who's no
What was his
longer
name
a
again?
friend.
Orloff.
Orloff.
Korloff.
Korloff. Yeah, I hate that guy.
So we fought him, and now we're interrogating him. Basically, that's about all I have. Oh, wait, I do remember Sin. Sin was fighting him, and his thrall Wrath was taken away from him and wrested from his power, and then after that we were able to fight him off and be able to take back Wrath from the other necromancer's control, and we won the fight. Yeah.
Thank you, Hestia, for that recap. All right. Still nursing the wound on his shoulder, Sin turns to you all as you're all preparing to leave the crypt, and he channels a good bit of what remains of his power to offer healing to anyone, and he takes a moment and even channels negative energy to heal Wrath and also the other skeleton. And actually, so this will also heal you, Maleth, and he heals you for about let's see, I think it'll just be 24 points of damage. So yeah, he heals all three of you for 24 points of damage. And then, is anybody else injured? He asks.
I am.
I'm all good.
Okay, he turns.
I'm sorry. I still feel sluggish. Uh, so can you
He
do anything about
examines
that?
you. Do you have? Is it just the negative level that you have, or is it also hit point damage?
I mean, I have some hit point damage at this point, but after the healing, it's not that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly the negative damage. This the feeling sluggish and slow is the hazy is the best way to that can think of to describe it in game.
Sure. No,
So that's why
absolutely.
I'm saying that.
He
Yeah.
he examines you and checks you up and down and casts detect magic on you and says, "What ails you is beyond what I can fix at this time. Perhaps in the future I will be capable of mending what's wrong with you, but it looks like the white drained some of your life force, and soon it may pass or it may persist. That all depends on you. But if it does persist, perhaps down the road I can deal with it somehow, but I cannot do so now."
Right.
Um, Jasper, did you have something you were going to say?
Oh, no, just a cough.
Yeah. So he uses a heal spell on him or a healing spell on himself, and he pulls away his hand and looks at the blood, and after touching his temple for a moment, he looks to Wrath and says, "Wrath, I don't know if I can handle that again. Having you taken from me. This is not a danger that I had considered in us taking our journey here." Wrath makes a few motions with his hands, and Sin nods and turns to the rest of you. "Where to now?"
Go back.
I thought we would head back, see if Gabe over here can get some healing from a cleric.
Maybe report what we have found and learned so far.
I think that would be appropriate.
Yeah. I do appreciate that. I fought I fought whites before, but man, I've never been drained like this before.
First
I,
time.
I've yeah, I mean I've seen it happen, but it's never happened to me.
How is it that you guys are bringing Brother Korloff?
Hogtied and gagged.
Yep.
No,
I know
No, I'm good with that.
he was previously hogtied.
Yeah, I'm just going to carry him.
Okay. So you make your way back up to the top of the of the crypt, and as you exit the door, you notice a soldier, a human soldier, standing there, looking uneasily around at the carnage. When he sees you, his face pales a little bit, but then he recognizes you, and he, you know, resumes a more normal stance. "There you are," he says. "I was sent to assist you as much as possible by Lord Bellevant, but I was a little bit behind you this morning in your exit of the city. And he looks back at the rest of the grounds of the cottage, where there's multiple dead skeletons and charred ruins of parts of the building. "I was able to follow you here, though, without much incident. What happened?"
There was an exchange of words, an exchange of blows. And well, now we got a prize that we got a little trophy to take back.
At that, he looks and he notices Brother Korloff, bound and gagged, and he cocks an eyebrow. A necromancer?
We have a prisoner. Yes, we have a prisoner that will stand trial.
Have you extracted any information from him?
Yes.
We have.
As he says this, you feel a little bit of motion on your shoulder, Sin. Or not Sin, Nomad. And you hear a muffled sound coming from Brother Korloff, and then after a moment you start to hear words. It seems that he was able to push aside the gag enough to speak for a moment. And he says, calling out to the soldier, "Don't let them take me back to the city. There's too much at stake now." The soldier gives him a weird eye and then looks at each of you. What does he mean?
Jasper takes his cane and boops him on the head. At the top part. Not too hard, but just gives him a warning shot, essentially.
This man used to be a close friend of mine, and even I now have no idea what he means. But he needs to be taken back to Barrowayne regardless. He will stand trial. He will have a chance to speak for himself. Explain his actions in front of the people.
Brother Korloth says, "I have no intention of," and then he cuts off. As you look, his face seems to be frozen for a moment. His eyes move side to side, and it almost looks as if he's watching or seeing something that none of you can. And then his face relaxes, and you hear him say, "White destroyed. Intruders. Outlanders."
I'm gonna punch him as soon as he starts.
Make a reflex save to see if you can interrupt him before he says any more.
Reflex.
Just hold his mouth shut.
17.
Okay, so before he says anything else, you're able to get your hand around his mouth or hit him.
How did he manage to get the gag off in the first place?
So you'll after the apparent spell fades and his face returns to normal, you examine the gag and you can see blood and teeth marks. It appears that he chewed through it to an extent, though.
I'm going to cancel the spell.
The spell was not something that he cast. Go ahead and make a knowledge arcana check, though.
Okay.
Or if
He
somebody
couldn't
else
have
is
chewed through it. I gagged him with my whip.
He was able to get it away at least enough to talk.
Man, it's like he has
Okay.
experience with whips.
Yeah. Well, I rolled knowledge arcana. I definitely don't know what happened,
Okay.
but he stopped mid sentence and started talking to somebody else, so I just had to stop him. This time around, though, I'm gonna take out like a bandana or something like that and tie it on his mouth, kind of like a bridle
Okay.
for a horse that
Okay.
goes all the way to the corner of his mouth, and then try and get something else to cover the rest of his mouth. So
Well, he'll chew through it, so.
maybe
Is it
it's gonna be a lot harder this way for him to chew through it.
So he didn't quite chew through it, but he was able to work it out of his mouth at great pain, and tore up his face a little bit in getting it out. But yeah, so you
Is it 25?
25. You can surmise that he was probably on the receiving end of a sending spell.
Dang, I must have really high intelligence as just the player alone, because I even thought that. Dang, I'm as smart as Jasper. I'm sorry. I'm going to shut up now.
Sin looks at the rest of you and says, "Well, I suppose that we should probably get moving. Get back to the safety of town."
Agreed.
Got no
Let's
reason
go.
to no reason to tarry any longer.
You begin making your way back to town. On the way here, the journey took probably about an hour to an hour and a half. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you're on your way. At this point, it's reaching close to midday.
Oh, jeez. Gotta be freaking kidding me. You know, I'm blaming that nat 1 on feeling sluggish and the life
Yeah.
drained out of me.
Jasper, as you guys are making your way back to the town, at one point you catch yourself looking to the east towards where the bulk of the undead army is. Previously, it has been largely still. But right now you can see much more motion than you did before. Large swaths of the force appear to be beginning to move towards the city wall. And you can make out a very, very large figure among them. One that you hadn't seen previously.
What does it look like? This large figure.
It is humanoid, but beyond that you are too far away to tell.
Well, now, looks like since we frustrated our little friend's plans here, he must have alerted someone, and now there's an assault on the city.
Can we reroll a perception now that he's mentioned that?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. And I'm going to use my spyglass as well.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna modify it here. Okay, looks like Hestia and I got a 27.
Okay. Gabriel. So everybody else, you're able to kind of make out what Jasper had pointed out. Gabriel, with your spyglass, you're able to get a bit of a better view. Go ahead and give me a knowledge nature check. Because you actually notice two other figures that are a little bit bigger.
19.
You don't know enough to tell details to determine what kind they are. But you see three figures, one larger than the other two, but all of them much larger than the rest of these skeletons and zombies, that appear to be giants. They are rotting, but they are giants nonetheless. The smaller ones carry large clubs, and the larger one carries a massive sword. But if you had to guess, based on the context, they are between 15 and 25 feet tall.
I relate what I see as I'm looking through.
And they are all making their way towards the city.
I think we need to hurry. How far away are we from the city?
At this point, you're probably about 5 or 10 minutes away from getting into the city wall if you use the same entrance that you came out of before. Sin turns to all of you and says, I find myself in a less than capable place to assist in another fight. I am tapped out and still wounded. I don't know if Wrath will be as much help without me, but I am particularly vulnerable at this time. If you would like, perhaps I can go ahead and inform Lord Bellevant, if he has not already known about what's going on, if you want to make your way a different way, or if there's anything else that we need to do, or perhaps we can all make haste together.
Is anyone opposed to us running?
Ah, I gotta get a horse.
I can have Wrath carry you for now, Jasper.
No, I have a ring. I can just spontaneously cast, even though I didn't prepare it. It's okay. Thank you.
Sin nods.
Where are we running exactly?
I see no reason to go anywhere other than Marrowwane.
Yeah, let's go to the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
You make your way hastily towards the city. You're going to beat the undead to the city by at least a decent amount of time. They're milling about not particularly fast as they're moving, but as you arrive, you notice that alarms are beginning to go up around the city. You notice soldiers beginning to mill about as they're making their way towards positions on the wall. Where do you go? What do you do?
I just want to
I'm
clarify
gonna-
that Jasper's currently on a horse.
Okay.
He used his ring for his one spell.
Okay. So can you describe to everybody else what you did then?
Yeah, just as I normally cast spells using my ring as a focus of sorts. I just made a horse appear out of thin air, and now I think I probably asked for help getting on it, but now I'm riding it. It's pretty whack, yo. I just made a horse appear. A little horse. He can't carry me all day.
Okay. So as you arrive into Barrowwane, where is it you go?
Do we go to the palace? Or actually, I would like to roll a perception to see if I can find a cleric nearby when we enter.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Okay.
21.
You look around and you do see a couple clerics moving about.
I'm gonna run up to one of them.
He looks
And
frantic
that's
as you stop him and turns to you. What is it?
Real quick, we just came from outside the city. I was attacked. I had some life force drained from me. Can you fix me so that I can fight better?
He examines you for a moment and says, "You're healed to the best of my ability. I would be surprised if, given the moment and the circumstances, if anyone in the city is capable of dealing with the problem that you have right now. Perhaps when things die down, if we survive this, we can take a look at you."
So, to your knowledge, you don't know anybody else right now that can help me. Because if I can be back at 100%, I can fight a lot better, and I'm a good fighter.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
Yeah. Not the best. Yeah, it seems about right. I'm pretty. That's it.
He says, Sir, the city is under attack right now. We don't have time to divert any resources away from the defense of the city.
Do you have a paper and a quill?
What for? We're under
So I
attack.
can send a message to your king that we're here to help.
Go tell him yourself. There are messengers about, but I don't have time to relay messages.
Okay. Point us
That's-
to a messenger. We'll be out of your hair. Whatever's left of it.
The priest that you're speaking to rolls his eyes, and in an exasperated way, he points to a small child and says, there's your messenger.
Thank you.
Go help the front line.
He barely even waited for you to say anything. Pretty much the second that he realized that he could get away from you, he did.
I tell the little child to tell the king that we're here to that we're here to help. And
Looking, I guess you don't have a camera on, but the child looks at you and with shock in his eyes. I mean, this kid's probably like 7 or 8. The kid just kind of looks at you like, what? Just very confused as to what you're asking and also with what's going on.
go tell your king that the people he sent to help Zelkir are here to help.
I can't tell the king anything. I can't go to the king.
Okay, thank you.
Let's
Wait.
just go to
Bye.
Bellevent directly.
Wouldn't he be on the front lines by now?
Well, not from what we saw
Anything.
before. His city was under attack, and he was sitting in his throne doing nothing.
Would
Oh,
my
we
owl
can
be able
get
to
him.
remember who he was?
Say that again.
Would my owl be able to remember who he was?
Bellevant?
Yeah.
Probably not enough for you to relay anything to him. Unless you're, well, what is it you're wanting your owl to do?
Just, I'm gonna write a message on its leg, tie it, and send it to him.
Yeah, you could probably do that.
Okay, I do that.
Okay. What is it that you write?
Bellevant, we're here. We're wounded. We're here to help the fight with the giants. Signed Hestia and Co.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You strap that message to your bird, and it takes off towards the palace. What do the rest of you do? Or I guess what do you all do now?
Well, I'm gonna look at the group and say, there's two things going on right now. We have that guy, Nomad's old friend, that we have to take care of, and we also have to help defend the city. What do we do?
Well, if we are keeping him alive per Nomad's protocol, then we need to make sure he keeps his mouth shut so as to not divulge any secret information should another sending spell come his way.
Can I just pull somebody aside and ask where the stockade is?
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah, one of the soldiers that you pull aside, he points to actually a nearby building that is under guard.
Okay, I'll take him over there.
Okay. And there you find a couple soldiers that are on duty that say that they can watch him and ask if there's any. They look at how he's bound and say, "Is there anything special that we need to be aware of?"
Yes, do not let him speak. Otherwise, he'll be able to use magic, and then I'll run back and join the party.
Okay. As you do that, they kind of look at you sideways, and then one of them kind of just pulls out his club and smacks him for good measure.
Hey! If I come back here and I find another scratch on his body, you're gonna pay twice fold for that. You will not torture him. I said keep him quiet.
I'm not torturing him. We're not going to kill him. But if he could use magic on us, I'm not taking any chances. If I can keep him on the cusp of consciousness, then
You don't want to take any
I-
chances with me when I come back. Keep watch, keep the gag in his mouth, and I will return after the battle. Am I understood?
The blood drains from his face, and he nods. Yes, 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 my lord.
I'm going to touch the necromancer and put touch of fatigue on him.
Okay.
Okay, I will rejoin
Yeah.
the party now.
All right. Let me-
I guess we run to the wall to help.
I
Sorry,
ride to the
give me a
wall.
moment.
You run to the wall.
Uh,
I'm on a horse.
insert Old Spice commercial.
I'm on a horse. I'm on a horse. Everybody look at me because I'm riding on a horse.
That is,
That's where that's
Not
from, an Old Spice commercial?
no, that's not. He's quoting the
Take a
wrong
good
thing.
hard look at the. Yeah.
That is a totally. That's the I'm on a boat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
No, the
Yeah.
the I'm on a horse was a while ago. This was like
I
2009. or
hate
something.
humans.
Oh, actually, I'm going to put deep slumber on him. So I'm
Mm.
just going to have him stand aside and put him to sleep.
Okay. Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. Sorry, I'm trying to. Probably made up a map for this, and I'm trying to download it, but it's very
Wait.
weird.
Nomad, does this shirt restore your hope in humanity?
Good old Ronald Reagan. Yeah.
No, it's Mr. Rogers. But
No, yeah, I know. Why does he have a gun? Is that the Mr. Rogers from Black Dynamite?
well, why do you think it's such a lovely, safe neighborhood that he lives in?
My gosh. What do the words say?
Oh, it's all good in the hood or something.
My gosh. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Let me finish getting this map downloaded. Okay, so you guys make your way to the city wall. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. As you reach the city wall, you look out on an enormous horde of undead. Before, the attack that happened probably consisted of 1,000 or two zombies and skeletons. But right now, you see the entire horde bearing down upon the city. Easily 20,000, if not more. Among them, you notice 3 pockets that look interesting or different. You notice what appears to be a large giant bearing a great sword. And then on one side, you see a small pocket around a lone zombie with a tongue kind of hanging out down as far as the ground. Every zombie and skeleton nearby it is giving it a wide berth as it's making its way, occasionally going down to crawl on all fours. And then you notice another area that appears to be almost an empty pocket among the undead as the group is moving. They're all three of those pockets are moving towards different points along the wall. At this point, best guess, you've got probably 10 or 15 minutes before they reach the wall. And there's also 2 smaller giants bearing large clubs that are slowly making their way along with the group as well.
So the biggest zombie, would that have been the one that I had heard rumors about?
This does not
Like
appear.
approximately?
No, this does not appear anywhere near as big or as fast. This is a very slow moving. Actually, are any of you well trained in knowledge nature? Jasper, if you
yeah.
want, from this point, you can make a check to see if you can identify specifics.
What
Jas-
do you mean by well trained?
Have a high bonus, or trained in it at least, because I think you were not
Okay.
trained.
I am.
I have a
33.
plus
I-
8.
What did you get
I have a
before?
skill.
It says untrained.
Well,
And
I
the
am
dice-
trained. I don't know why it says I'm trained, but I just rolled a
Huh.
natural one, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh. I'm so
I do have a
knowledgeable.
skill point.
I'm
I
pulling
have
up
a
your
skill
character
point
sheet.
on it.
I went ahead and
Huh,
rolled for it
that's
and got
weird.
like an 18, so.
Yeah, you are trained in that. That's weird. Okay. Okay, Jasper, you recognize that among them are 2 hill giants and a storm giant. All appear to be zombies, but based on their size, you would wager that they pose a serious risk to the integrity of the wall. They may be strong enough to breach it.
Would Jasper know if giants are native to this land?
With that check, you know that they wouldn't be unheard of, but they are certainly not common. The storm giant would probably be from somewhere in the mountains to the north, and the hill giants, it could be anyone's guess. But they're not unheard of in this part of the world.
So Jasper, looking at this doom that's approaching, says, "Well, let's look at the bright side. Dragons and giants are typically in conflict. If giants have had a presence in these lands for a while, then perhaps our fearless leader will in fact find this dragon that he seeks. But they're tall enough to breach the wall, so that's the bad news. I can cast web. That'll slow them. Maybe even catch them for a second. That's really all I'm good for right now."
Well, how far away are they right now?
They'll be here in about 15 minutes, probably, given the usual stride of undead legions such as this.
Gabriel, go ahead and give me a knowledge religion check for the other zombie that you saw that's kind of crawling on all fours sometimes, the one with the waggly tongue.
24.
So as you're taking a look at it, you recognize the way that it's acting, the way that the other undead are kind of giving it a bit of a wide berth. This looks to be a morgue.
Yeah.
Morgues are...
what?
Morgue. M-O-H-R-G. Morgues are often the result of serial killers that rise as undead and can be very dangerous. Any that they kill almost immediately rise as either zombies or skeletons.
Well, I don't think we can. Well, I relate that. How many morgues did I see?
One.
I saw one
There
morgue.
appears to be
Yeah.
one morgue, a storm giant, 2 hill giants, and then a pocket among the undead that you can't really tell what's there. It's hard to see in the light.
Well, with all that going on, there's no time to waste. Nomad, that blessing or spell magic thing that you did to help me shoot without having to worry about the distance. Can you do that again?
Right.
Thank you. And I will cast guidance on myself as well. And I'm going to start shooting at the big storm giant.
Okay. They won't be in range. So if you want to wait to cast those spells, they won't be in range of you, even with that, for probably another few minutes. They're at the moment.
Okay.
Let me pull up the map in Fantasy Grounds.
Okay, that's fair.
Can I cast Bless on everyone?
Yes. What is the duration of Bless?
It is for 1 minute per level.
So you'd probably want to wait on that until the
Okay.
fighting itself starts. But yes, you will be able to do that.
Perfect.
Oh gosh, where is it?
What is the max range of weapons?
5 times their range increment, and a longbow's range
Okay.
increment is 100 feet.
I got a compound, so it's 110.
Oh, okay.
So I got a 550 feet range right now, and that extra 50 is gonna come in handy this time.
Okay.
In the meantime, um, I I'm going to really work on fixing that arrow with a Tinglefoot bag,
Okay.
and I'm gonna lay out like 5 more Tinglefoot bags and put out 5 more arrows. And I'm gonna look at the rest of the party, be like, if you guys want to help, I know it may not be much, but if we can slow them down when they're getting close to the wall, might not be a bad idea.
Why not? Take anything we can.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this.
Hmm.
Do the giants only seem to be coming from this direction?
Let me. So the storm giant is on the northern side, and then more straight to the east, coming off the wall, is. Oh gosh, how do Sorry, I'm trying to get this to go big. There we go. Okay. On Fantasy Grounds, you guys should be able to see that. Going to share my screen on Twitch. Okay. Okay. So you're looking out east. This is the east.
I'm sorry, is it just me, or is the map not straight?
I actually looked at
Yeah,
Um,
It's just so question.
What the heck?
Which,
Okay, I'll share my screen on Discord. No, not that. Where am I? Make sure to share the correct notes. Okay. All right. Where's the grid? Perfect. Okay. So at the moment, are over here. Gosh, where's the? Still very new to this, and I did not have opportunity to too much of this.
In there?
Although, should do this. Okay. I don't know how to get this to. I did that before. Anyway, gosh, sorry for the growing pain. Giants and the rest is at this point probably under 1,500 feet. They're making their way slowly towards you. Oh, okay. I don't know how to make that bigger. Draw for a minute to kind of show where things are. So the giants. Okay. Kind of a bit of a ravine, some dead trees, and some old ruins. It's probably a half mile away from. And that's where the giant. You hear a voice behind you that you recognize. Back I got battlements. Something about giants. You look
I my spyglass so that he can have a look.
Yes. I see.
Two hill giants, one storm giant. Gable got something else.
A morgue.
Obviously, they're going for the wall. Do any of them have an angle?
Strong enough to deal with undeads. They're not as they are armed to protect them from any spell that might come their way from around. Not enough, though, to strike force to go down and deal with them in more just, or that's probably the best way to without exposing the wall.
Fine.
I would
We can leave and meet them in battle.
Oh, how do you suggest we do that with all the undead surrounding them?
They will have to expose themselves to attack the wall. I can meet one of them. How many can you deal with?
The map is on Fantasy Grounds now, by the way.
Oh, is it you're able to see it now?
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh,
Okay.
sexy
So-
map. Look at that.
He
Not
he
yet.
turns to you and says, my guard and I can go down and deal with one of the groups. Who can you deal with?
I'm sorry, how much are they surrounded with, again, as far as the giants go?
They're making their way towards the front, but there's hundreds of undead. So you'd have to either wade your way through or have some way to distract or push aside the smaller undead. Bellavant says, I can send my troops down as well to thin the horde, but they will be useless against any of these larger undead.
We can bring the giants down. If they can cut a path for us, or if they can make a distraction for us, we can take care of them.
Don't send them down. Just distract.
He turns to you and says, I don't see how you believe that they can distract the undead with anything other than their bodies. Your desire to preserve life is admirable.
Fire. You have flaming arrows. You have wood. You can cut. You can put things on fire.
This will be done, but to deal with a horde such as this, if we're to open a path to the giants, then it must be done more in person to be effective enough. Any gap that you cut through with a bow, it will be opened up again. Quick! And Bellavant turns. Bring rope. I need soldiers willing and ready to go down into the field. Gather them all. I'll need at least 200. And after not too long, soldiers begin milling about and gathering on the wall. Many ropes are being tossed down as soldiers make ready to make their way to the ground. And Bellavant turns
Real
back to
quick,
you. Yes.
Is there another cleric nearby? A different one that I can approach?
There's a
Because
couple.
I'm going to approach him real quick, and I'm going to tell them, look, I'm going to go down there and fight these guys. I just got back from scouting earlier today, and I had life force drained from me from a white. Can you please get me back to where I need to be so that I can kill as many of them as possible before they kill me?
Go ahead and
Well
make a
worded.
diplomacy check.
I can cast a couple fireballs at the big horde if that would help some.
That's a little better than last time.
The cleric looks at you and says, "I want to help you. I do, but there may be a scroll somewhere in the stores of the city, capable of casting a spell, able to bring you back to full capacity, but there's no one that I know of in the city that can do it otherwise."
Well, if we could find the spell, I could learn it, but I don't think we have time for that.
Yes.
The cleric asks, "Is there any other way that I can help you or heal you? Are you harmed in another way?"
I think we're all up to full health, right?
Is there a way to restore spells?
Bellevant looks at you and says, "You utilized all that you had in a short morning?"
As I was mentioned, I can cast a couple fireballs, but
Tommy
We
will be
didn't,
able to-
and we'll be fine.
use-
We're ready to begin, Bellevance.
Who will you take? I will take what remains. He looks out.
Sorry, what does he mean? Who will I
He,
take?
he looks out and says, "I see a storm giant and a morgue. Which do you fancy? I will take the other."
Is there any way to tell which one looks more outwardly threatening? Probably the storm giant, right?
Go ahead and make a combat intelligence check.
What is
Or
that
Just
again?
gonna
Actually-
look at num.
Actually, go ahead and no. Instead, Nomad, give me a knowledge religion check for your knowledge about morgues and giant zombies.
All right. Hestia,
Well,
Maleth, Jasper, which one is more dangerous? I have no idea.
What are the
Well-
options?
what do I need to roll to know that? Oh, Snickers!
Knowledge religion. So my knowledge religion is a 25, and I already have my knowledge nature of 33 for the giants.
So
if that's
what
okay
you
to
would
be
what
used.
you would know is that dealing with the morgue, you'd have to it'll attack you with its tongue. It has the ability to actually does it have energy drain? I'm gonna check really quick. You got high enough to know. The morgue can paralyze with its tongue, and it can use that at a small range. And it is also very fast and nimble. And any who it kills will very quickly rise as undead. Whereas the storm giant would pose a more difficult to kill enemy, and yet would be more rudimentary.
More straightforward.
It's a very, very large creature with a very large sword that would hurt very much if it hit you.
So the morgue can just incredibly quickly, something's killed, and then it can be raised as undead almost immediately after the fact.
Almost immediately. In fact, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's like same round.
Well,
Nope, not same round. Or yeah, no, immediately.
all right. well, I don't want Bellavant. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I don't want Bellavant with a bunch of very not as experienced as us soldiers rushing that thing. I don't know. The Storm Giant sounds better for them to take on because at least when his men fall, they aren't going to be turning against him immediately.
Storm Giant's an opportunity for Bellavant to show his intellect and his strength matched against that. They're one of the smarter, stronger giants, I think. We, the undead experts, are probably better off against the Morgue.
We'll be
Agreed.
far harder to kill than your foot soldiers. We'll take the Morgue
Bellavant
to
nods.
prevent any further undead.
A wise choice. I'll engage the storm giant. And then, if possible, we'll deal with the hill giants afterwards. He grabs one of the ropes, and at this moment you notice that while he is armored, his armor is actually very sparse and enough to cover his vitals, but it's actually pretty light on him. It doesn't appear to be plate, but rather it's just kind of, just pretty much covering his vitals, and that's it. Very open. And he says, "Soldiers, to the ground." And he grabs the rope with a gloved hand, and without strapping himself in, he pretty much runs down the wall, using the rope as a guide. And as he hits the ground, his soldiers followed, a few seconds behind him in a much more typical manner, more rappelling down or climbing down. And as they rally around him, they begin taking position on the field.
I'm gonna look at Nomad. Nomad, you are probably the one leading the charge for us. Do you want me to fight with my axe, or do you want me to support you as an archer?
I'm sorry. Before I answer that question, real fast, anything to clear up?
Yep.
What did we discuss? So, is he sending soldiers with us as well,
Yes.
or is
He's going to send
okay.
soldiers to clear the way for you, and the instructions that he gave them is keep the horde back from you guys at all costs. And he also, so actually, before he goes down, he turns to his soldiers a little bit and says, "Men, most of us may fall this day. But if we do our duty well, and if we fight, knowing that our wives and our children and our friends may live because of us, then perhaps we can hold back the doom of this city, those that would destroy our people. We've held this long, and they have tested us. They think that they know the true mettle of those who live in Barrowain, but they have not seen it yet. This day, we show them what we are made of. Now go, fight. Protect these adventurers, and keep the horde at bay, even if it costs your very lives. For if we can be victorious now, then the city will stand, and Barrowain will not be breached. So go. And remember, we are believing in you, and we trust you." And then after that is when he makes his way to the ground. Okay, let me get the map ready. So do you guys go to the ground, or where is it that you, how do you get down? Do you just take the ropes there, or are any of you with less legs going to ask for another option?
If I may, I would, go back out the way that we came in, riding on my horse.
Okay.
meet them on the other side.
Are there any officers I could speak to before we do that? Like any, it's like other like field lieutenants that would be directing soldiers on the battlefield, so I can tell them about formation to break the line.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of lay down the section of the battle where you guys are going to engage, and I'll let you give orders for how you want them to kind of set up the battlefield for you. Does that make sense? How to engage the enemy line and make way for you? Does that satisfy what you're wanting to do, Nomad? Or would you like to do something different?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that they're in the right formation to be able to break the line effectively, rather than just uncoordinatedly.
Yep. Let me
And hopefully, if possible, stay as far away from the morgue as possible. Jasper will explain that he does. Well, I would tell that to Nomad.
Yeah. So may I relay that to the lieutenants as well to keep their soldiers as far away. Do not, under any circumstance, engage the morgue.
And they just need to give us a path and keep the extra undead away is what Jasper's thinking, and that Jasper himself would. Oh, I guess I got to say it in character. I may not be as good at it as clerics, but I do have some means of causing undead to flee. I'm not too capable with that as I am with just raw strength, but I can make some of them fly away.
Also, would a pincer move work best for this if we want to keep the soldiers away from the morgue? Maybe they can attack the horde of undead in a pincer move instead of in a wedge.
Okay, I'm just going to draw on here where the undead are, the horde itself, and where the morgue is. I will put tokens. Just because that way I don't have to put down like 1,000. Okay, so the line of undead. Are you guys able to see where I draw on here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the line of undead is about right here, making its way forward. But as they kind of reach that point, a little bit outside of bow shot of the walls, they slow down and stop for a moment as you and Lord Bellevant begin to take the field. So what orders do you give the soldiers other than staying away from the morgue? Oh, let me drop the morgue down.
Yeah, where's the morgue and the horde with the morgue?
I would ask the officers, are you familiar with a wedge formation?
The officer nods. If I recall, that's more where you kind of do a triangle and then push in like that. Is that correct? Is that what you're going for?
There's more to it than that, but it is a triangle, yes.
Okay. Well, oh gosh, dang it.
Well,
Point being, go ahead and give more detailed orders.
So you make the triangle, yes, as the wedge. You have your best soldiers in the front. Those are the ones that are going to break the line. Those are the ones that, in all possibility, need to succeed. If those soldiers fail, then the entire operation does not work. So the best soldiers are at the tip of the wedge. And then you're going to have the two sides on the wedge, the left and right. You're going to have them waiting for the other forces to try to flank the main forces in the front. So they'll stay back. Generally, those will be archers or people with longer weapons. You'll have them stay back, and then if other forces from the skeletons, for example, would move in to try to flank, then those forces would move in and flank them, and then the people that are near the front would also be able to help and wedge them in.
Okay.
And the issue with that, and the issue with dealing with a wedge formation, just a straight line, is that it's to try to flank a wedge is very difficult. So it's a very well-protected combat maneuver as far as that goes. It does have a weakness of if you have to retreat, it's not you'll find yourself in a bad place. But for just needing to break a line immediately, it's very safe. So if it works, I'm willing to gamble. But if it doesn't, well, we won't reach the morgue anyways, so it won't matter about retreat.
In other words, the wedge that you're creating would prevent this line from turning and then doing a pincer strike on our forces.
Correct.
Hmm.
It would prevent the flanking of the initial breaking force at the very tip.
I'm not really knowledgeable with warfare, but what you described makes sense, I think.
Okay. So you notice the pocket of enemies around the morgue are all staying closer, and they're a combination of zombies and skeletons that all appear to be armed in a similar way. And you notice around a few of them nooses around their necks, hanging limply. And you also notice one around the morgue, around its neck, and its tongue is hanging out really low. Here, let me actually get a picture of a morgue and share it
Yeah.
with you guys. So as you get closer, you're able to actually get a better view of it. Here's the description, and I'll share a picture for you. I'll just share it to Discord.
Ugh.
Actually, I'm curious. Do they have?
Nasty.
Oh, they do have a morgue in here.
Oh. That is so. I've
That's a
encountered
monster.
one of these before in different campaign.
Here's another picture of one.
I don't.
So the morgue can be described thusly.
Yeah.
A thick tangle of discolored entrails clings to this lurching skeleton's torso and winds upwards to loll from its jaw like a clawed tongue. Okay, let me get all of you on the combat tracker. All right, everybody roll initiative.
Yeah.
So what are you do you just tell them to cut a path through to the actual where the space is around the morgue and then spread out from there?
Correct. If they're able to actually break the line, like should they actually break that line there and make it past, then those forces that were at the tip can then go up and to the right and to the left,
Mm-hmm.
and then those forces that are on the left and the right of the wedge can also move to surround those forces as well.
Okay. All right. You know the drill. Call high and low. Call high or low.
But me?
Yep.
For what?
How effective this is.
Well, if they do what I say, it'll be really
I mean,
effective.
I've got
Hi.
a percentage chance based on what you said, and then calling from there. Yeah, so I give you like a 70% chance of that working perfectly, and yeah. Here is how it goes down. You prepare yourselves actually kind of at the middle of the wedge, so that as they spread out, you're already ready to engage. And as they move forward, the soldier at the front calls for everyone to kind of ready their shields and their weapons and be ready to pretty much press in together. And as they go forward, they pretty much just start chopping down at the zombies. And as they kind of reach this gap, one of these skeletons that's near the morgue steps forward, and you notice that it's kind of, its bones appear to be almost on fire, and the soldier steps forward and cuts it and kicks it forward. And as the skeleton falls backwards, it actually explodes. Yes, you can cast Bless before the soldiers engage combat.
Nah.
So one of the skeletons explodes, and as it does so, the captain calls out for everyone to split, and they pretty much press to the side and open up the following for you.
Also, also, as soon as I have the morgue within range and sight,
Okay.
I am shooting it with one of my Tengafoot bag arrows.
Oh, and may I Zephyr's gift him?
Yes, you can. Okay, go ahead and make
Okay.
an attack roll, Jasper. Not Jasper.
Jasper.
Gabriel.
Jasper's casting mage armor is what Jasper's doing.
Jasper throws his cane. Hiya!
Okay, so your soldiers press in and are pretty much able to get this and hold the line, and they're just exchanging back and forth to... Oh, gosh, dang it. I'll get used to this
buff while
eventually.
we're moving?
Yes.
Like when
yes.
the line looks like it's about to break and we move in?
Yes, you'll be able to do that.
Okay.
Also, were we blessed?
Yes, you are blessed.
Okay, so that is an 18.
Okay. Let me check his AC. That will be insufficient to hit him. However, the Tanglefoot bag will still go off. It gets him enough to have the Tanglefoot bag go. So he will
That helps.
hopefully.
That was a point of that. Not damage, but
Oh,
tingling.
wow. Okay. He rolled very low on that. Okay, so the
Do you
Tanglefoot
want us
bag
to be able
hits
to see
him.
your screen?
It does no damage. Say again.
Do you want us to be able to see your screen like we currently do?
Are you guys able to... Here, I'm going to switch Twitch to Fantasy Grounds. And then I'm going to cancel the stream, because you guys, I think, can see everything on Fantasy Grounds itself now, right?
No, I still can't.
You can't?
Oops. Sorry.
Because I'm seeing Jasper and Nomad and Hestia were able to see this.
Wait, Kayla, you're not able to see the map?
No, I'm not. I'm able to see the picture of the creepy skeleton-looking thing, but is that the morgue, whatever it's called? But I can't see the map.
Okay, let me...
I don't know if there's something I'm supposed to click or what. But...
Maybe it's behind your character sheet and
probably
the
is.
picture of the morgue.
Can you see it now?
There is kind of my cursor is like rotating like it's trying to load something, but I can't actually see. Oh, there we are.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a... Let me see if I can drop you guys in here. Appreciate the patience. Nomad, I do need an initiative from you.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. I'm going to drop you guys in. Are you able to move your figures?
Let's see.
You should be able to click on it and then just do up, down, left, right to move it. But if you can
Oh.
put yourselves in marching order as it splits. Okay. Okay,
What-
so it's
what
giving you
the-
guys. Okay, since we're in combat, it's giving you the option to use your movement. Okay, that's good to know. So what's your? I can rearrange you for your order.
I would absolutely be at the very front of everybody.
Gabriel, you took your shot. Jasper and Maleth, what do you do? Where would you be, Jasper and
I'd
Maleth?
actually ask. I'd actually ask Nomad if there's a particular place he wants me to be, since he seems to know what he's doing in terms of strategizing.
I would stay as far away as you can, but still able to hit some of those skeletons or the morgue. Basically, you don't want one of those burning skeletons rushing up on you and exploding. Try to at least make sure that they'll have to run near me if they come for you, because then that way I will at least have a chance to try and disrupt their movement before they're able to reach you. And if they reach me, then, at least it's not you.
Okay, I will get over, like, maybe there then.
Where do you want to be? It'll require you to move and then confirm the movement. So I can move you there just as your marching order. Are you wanting to go down?
Yeah, just a little bit back, but yeah, there, where you have me's
Okay.
fine.
Hestia, Jasper, where would you like to be?
In the back.
Okay. Jasper?
And in more technical terms, make it so they would have to run within 15 feet of me. But yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, at the moment, Nomad, you can almost reach the entire gap here that the soldiers have opened up for you. So, yeah.
DM, before I decide where I want to be, would Jasper know why that one undead blew up after being hit?
Yes, I will give it to you based on your. I guess it's a common knowledge thing for all of you. It's one of the well-known undead. Burning skeletons are immune to fire, and they do a little bit of fire damage if they hit you, but they also explode when they die.
Are they vulnerable to frost damage?
Let me check.
So are all the skeletons burning, or only some of them?
The skeletons that are with the morgue. There appear to be about half a dozen zombies and half a dozen burning skeletons. Well, there was. Until that last one got exploded.
Is there a particular on the map which area is like the morgue and which is the other? I'm sorry. I'm trying to, since I can just now see the
Yeah,
map.
you're good.
I'm
So
just now getting
you
it.
can zoom in with the scroll, but the morgue is here in the middle, and then the zombies are these more bent over ones, and then the ones that appear to be armored on their figures are the skeletons.
Okay.
Oops. Where are we at? They are vulnerable to cold.
Yeah! Ha ha! Ha ha!
Happy Jasper
Yeah.
noises.
Okay, Jasper, where would you like to be?
Okay. With that. Okay, I see that we've got those armored ones that are closer up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a, I've got mobility. I'm on a horse, so I think I'll actually, I'll be right behind Nomad, and I'll say to him, just let me know when you want me to make them turn, and I'll do it.
Okay, so you're going to be up there? Just behind him?
By turn, you mean control undead, right? Just making sure.
I'm limited with that, but I can do that once.
How many can you target with that, by the way?
1. I don't know what kind of crazy feat or class ability Sin had.
Channel energy.
Yeah, my channeling stuff is for making them flee, and it's all of the undead in 30 feet if they fail their will save. So
Okay. All right.
so keep that in mind that I can do. I could affect unlimited undead in theory.
So, okay. So now we're going to get back into where we're in combat. So the line opens up. Gabriel, you take your shot at the morgue, and it becomes covered in the sticky goo, even though your shot didn't actually hit it properly. So pretty much you took the shot, and the bag got caught on the bones, as the arrow actually went like through different bones and missed him. But yeah, so he is
That is exactly what I was going for.
perfect. So
Yeah.
he is entangled now, correct?
Yes. He's got a Tanglefoot bag on him. Like
Yep.
I got him with a Tanglefoot bag. He's not hurt, but he's stuck.
Okay. All right. So first in the initiative order is the morgue, who does nothing actually. The zombies all rush forward, going towards.
Are they
each of
charging?
you. They are charging, and they will provoke attacks of opportunity. How many do you get per round?
5.
Okay, so these 5 all make their way towards you, each running at a different one of you. Go ahead and make 5 attack rolls.
Jeez.
Is it 29? I thought it was plus 21.
I have Sacred Weapon, Divine Favor, Bull's Strength on.
Ah, okay. Yep, okay. Then
Divine Power is 3. Bull Strength the +2.
okay.
And then Sacred Weapon is another +2.
Yeah, okay. I'm not even going to check their CMD. So all 5 of these drop to the ground. I don't know how to change their condition right now. It's the zombies. And then this one gets in close and is able to attack you. What is your AC?
30.
Okay. So
Nice.
Are all of those soldiers that were dead?
the soldiers,
Yeah.
oh, these zombies and stuff,
Yeah.
they were with the morgue already. So this one comes in while you trip the other ones. This one comes in and snaking around the other ones. He's wielding a short sword, and he slides it deftly between the plates of your armor. And let's see, does
You've
not.
got to be kidding me. Get so lucky. It's so insanely lucky.
Okay, so you'll take 8 points of damage, and you can see a bit of a grin on his face. You can see a bit of dried blood on his lips, and he grins as he slides his blade in and, disengages from you and pulls out, but you can see a bit of glee on his face. The the skeletons themselves. Wait, who's next? Gabriel, you are next. So the zombies say nothing. Oh, what? Who's making that bigger? And how are you doing it? Oh, that's how you do it. Okay,
Zoom
Now
in,
I
zoom
know.
out. Yeah,
sweet.
that was me.
Okay,
I was trying to.
you're good.
I figured out how to. Sorry, I
No,
didn't
I
mean
needed
I didn't
that.
mean it to disrupt you.
No, thank you for figuring that out, because I was sitting here like
Yeah.
those giants were so small. Okay,
So, are the ones that charged, are they flaming skeletons?
no, these
Or
are
regular-
zombies.
Or are they zombies? Okay.
hmm
I'm going to say that we don't want to get melee with burning skeletons, so the burning skeleton that's pretty much straight ahead of me.
Okay.
I am going to shoot that skeleton
Make
twice.
an attack roll. 2 attack rolls.
And the second one is -4, right, for the second attack?
Are you using rapid shot?
Yeah,
It's a -2 on both.
-2 on both.
Yep.
Okay.
They'll both be
So
made
that's a
at
20.
26.
So that's a 26. Yeah.
Is that including your negative level?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm blessed as well.
Okay, that's right. That'll cancel out. Perfect. Okay, that'll be 2 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Or actually, no, you're using your Bane weapon. Okay.
Yep.
Yes, Hestia, the zombies or the skeletons were on fire. These skeletons are just perpetually burning. So this one, your first arrow hits it and it staggers. The second arrow hits it and it crumples to the ground and explodes. And actually so in about 10 feet around it, everything goes up in flames and a couple of the nearby zombies and even a soldier drop.
Oh, jeez. Did I kill a soldier?
Indirectly, yes.
Oh.
Let me draw another line of a different color so you can see where the soldiers are.
It's not really going to be avoidable unless we pull them like farther away or something like that.
Wait, would I have known that? That is a question.
I mean, you wouldn't necessarily. You might have known that could have happened.
You know, I'm not gonna meta. I'm not gonna
No.
meta. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
let it be.
That guy might not be dead too. He might just be
He
unconscious.
dropped. He didn't. I didn't say he died. He's not like engulfed in flames and screaming on the ground. Well, actually, he's probably in pain, in a lot of pain. He's burning, but he's on the ground. Let's see.
It's pretty
Yeah, what
weird.
zombie is going to want to touch somebody who's on fire? You saved his life.
Nomad. Your
Protection
turn.
from zombies.
Nomad. Your turn.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. What are you going to do?
Going to cast Warmind on myself for 10 extra feet of movement.
Okay. That's
I'm
a
going to
standard
move.
action for you, or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Can you move through other tokens or not? Because it just says that's 20 feet of movement.
It costs extra to go through an enemy.
Like half
Yes. Yes, I believe
movement?
so.
Okay.
Yeah. I will not count that though if they're on the ground. So only the one that's immediately next to you will be that.
If I'm trying to move?
Yeah.
Like through the guy to the right?
Yeah, if you try and move through the guy to the right, that will cost double movement. And obviously provoke 1 attack of opportunity, but yeah. Where are you wanting to go? You've got what?
Actually, never mind. I'm just going to take a 5-foot step forward
Okay.
right there. And hold my position for now.
Okay. So I think you have to hit that check.
What
or-
check?
Never mind. I guess that. Okay, so I have to prove your movement. I see. Interesting. Okay, I like this. Okay, Jasper, your turn.
All right. Jasper says, "Shall I make him flee now?"
They're nice and grouped up if you'd like to throw something in here.
Okay, that is
Jasper. Huh?
what is it that you're doing, Jasper?
Well, I think what I want to do is different than what Nomad hopes I can do. I'm also very limited in what I can do at this point, so I'm actually going to.
Keep in mind, they're all on the ground right
Yeah.
now.
5 of the 6 zombies are on the ground.
If that's the case,
Maleth, be ready. You're next. Or Jasper, if you want to have Maleth go first while you think about what you're going to do.
I am going to use one use of my turn undead,
Okay.
even though they're on the floor already on the ground. So they have to beat a 12 for their wisdom save, which is not that hard to beat.
Wait, a 12?
A 12.
Why is it only a 12? That doesn't sound right.
Because it's 10 plus half of my level plus my charisma modifier.
Well, that should be 3 at least, 13 at minimum.
12 at minimum.
Well, you said 10 plus half your level. That's 13.
Plus my charisma modifier.
Okay.
Gotcha. I see.
All right. 3 of... Oh, wait, there's one more. Funnily enough, 3 of them fail to save. And you can see a reaction from this one. I'll make the ones that did not fail bigger. Just for the sake of...
Those were the 2 that I wanted to
These
fail.
3 are clawing at this point to get away. Okay.
Cool. And I'll end my turn.
Okay. Maleth. What do you do?
Yeah, I am going to use Flaming Spear on one of the zombies that's left.
Okay.
If that's alright.
Yep, that is perfectly all right.
Okay.
Which
For
one?
spells, do I have to make an attack roll? I know it's a stupid
Not-
question.
No,
The
well,
one,
it depends on the spell. Flaming Sphere, no.
I didn't think so because I didn't see it in the description, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't just stupid.
Nope, you're good.
Am I missing something? You said there are 3 that are still up. The 3 you have enlarged.
Those are 3 that are not turned. The 3 that are enlarged are not turned, but only
Oh,
the one that's biggest is actually standing.
okay. I'll go for that one then.
Okay. It will make a reflex save. And it gets a nat 20. Okay, so your Flaming Sphere will not do damage
Oh,
with this
shit.
round. But it is only a movement action for you to move the sphere around every round, so...
Oh,
Okay.
cool. That's good to know. I did not realize that.
Alright, so now for the skeletons. These 3 skeletons rush forward.
Is that a charge?
They will provoke attacks of opportunity.
They're going to provoke that as soon as they enter my
Yes.
range.
So about right here-ish.
Not that I've tripped them yet, but yeah.
Okay.
It's the first nat 1 CMB.
Okay, so this one gets through. And it gets to here. Maleth, what is your AC?
My AC. Let me actually check that. I don't know off the top of my head. That should be in combat, right? Oh, 13.
Okay. Oh, wow. He comes in, and probably because as he ran over, he was tripping a little bit over the zombie that was on the ground, and he swipes at you, but you're able to backpedal just enough to not get hit. As this last zombie comes through, though, the morgue reaches out and grabs it and rips its head off. And the skeleton explodes, eviscerating the what's it called? The flames don't appear to touch the morgue itself, but they do destroy the Tanglefoot bag that was on him.
Yep.
And as he does this, the morgue looks at you, Gabriel, with murder in his eye sockets.
Ooh, haven't seen that before.
Okay. All right, Hestia, your turn. Where are you wanting to move?
Right there.
Okay.
I'm wanting to cast Sleet Storm.
Okay, where at? And what's the area effect of that?
Here, give me a second. The area cylinder is a 40-foot radius, 20 feet high.
Oh, stop. Okay, 40-foot radius. Stop.
Sorry. I'm trying to find myself.
Zoom in. You can hit the arrow to make it bigger. One second.
Troubleshooting.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think that's a good spell to use, to be honest.
Okay.
I think it'll take off all the fire and make them possibly vulnerable to fire. And at least it will stop it.
It
from
won't do
destroying
that. Does it do
things.
damage?
Well, it extinguishes torches and fires, and it makes them go slower.
It will prevent them from exploding, possibly.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Never mind.
So yeah, I'd like to do that.
Oh, whoa, Buckaroony? Who's the guy that just moved?
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
that's
was
what
trying
I
to figure
thought.
out where he was
Where
at.
did he?
It's
What
like, where
was
was
that
he at?
just? Oh, what?
Is it possible for me to draw?
You should be able to right-click and then go down to drawing. Let's see if you can do it. No, you have to click that thing at the bottom left. Is that enter draw mode?
Oh,
No, that's clear drawing.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Then try drawing. Are you able to? Nope. Okay. Just tell me where you want it to.
I want to get all these creatures over here
Okay.
without touching my allies.
So you said it's a 40-foot area.
Yeah.
15. Something like that. I'll have to figure out if I can draw shapes on here, but I will do so later. I think I can. I think I can. The guy here on the left. You're muted, by the way. So this is the area that you encompass in sleet. And while that does make it harder for the enemies, there's also a good chunk of your soldiers that will be inhibited by that, but that'll also stop any exploding zombies or skeletons from having as much impact. Okay. All right. It is now the morgue's turn. And let's see. It actually doesn't act. It in a raspy voice, it calls out, "Go, my followers. Eviscerate them. Kill them all." And the zombies, let me exit drawing mode. The zombies all get up. These three get up. Do you for these three, Parley, do you try and do anything when they stand?
Are those the ones that are fleeing because of Jasper?
Yes. You're able to tell by the way that they get up and the way that they're moving that they're trying to get away.
No, I will not do
Okay.
anything.
Right, so they all move. The others, though, this one steps forward or gets up and then moves towards. Well, no, this one just gets up and will attack at you. This one will get up and move towards Jasper, and then this one will go past towards the archer, towards Gabriel. Do you do
Yeah, the
anything?
two that just got up. So all three of those guys just got up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would like to try to disarm all three of them,
Disarm. Okay.
and
You
that will be at a
have-
-4.
I believe you used 3 attacks of opportunity on the skeletons.
Oh, you're right.
So
I'm
you
sorry.
have 2 left. Which ones would you like to go for?
The ones that were going to target my allies,
Okay.
I will disarm them. Not the one in front of me.
Okay. All right. You disarm them and send the weapons just to the ground. And so this one goes forward to there, and this one comes around right here. Malith, what is your AC? It tries to claw at you. Oh, never mind. It's going to miss horribly. Jasper, what is your AC?
18.
Okay, that is also a miss. So without their weapons, they have a much harder time hitting your allies. This one, though, swings at you with its blade. This is a different one than hurt you before. However, it also does not... Oh, thank you for that reminder, Hestia. So this one does not, however, hit you. Its blade glances off your armor. And with a cackle, the Morg walks towards you. And as it reaches up to this point, it lashes out at you with its tongue. And so right below your head, so like right on the side of your neck, right above your armor, the tongue latches in and digs into the flesh. And I believe...
Sorry, is this me?
Yes, this is against you. Go ahead and make a fortitude save. And
You have a +1 from the
Okay.
bless.
yeah. Okay, so as the tongue hits you, it leaches a sort of venom into your body, but you're able to resist it, and it's unable to cause paralysis in you. However, you do take... Oh, I'm on the wrong page. That's why.
Everything is getting so lucky hitting me.
Yeah, so it hits you, but it doesn't do any damage. It attempts to paralyze you, but you're able to resist it with your fortitude save. Okay, that is the zombies. Gabriel, it is now your turn.
Okay. I am going to take a 5-foot diagonal step back over here. Can I? Something clicking.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, diagonal. 5-foot step there.
Okay.
And shoot.
Who are you shooting?
That undead that was right next to me.
Okay.
And actually, I get a +1 for shooting into melee range as well.
Okay.
Uh,
So is
I
that
got
your...
point-
What's your total then? And is-
19.
And is that including the bonus from Bane on your weapon?
No, so that is a 20.
Okay. That is barely going to hit, but it does hit. Go ahead and roll damage. So you back away.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out Fantasy Grounds still.
You're good. You should be able to double click on the weapon dice. And even in the combat tracker.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't have your weapon there.
And if anybody wants to fly, let me know. I I can make it happen.
And so that's going to be a +4 for my D8.
And then roll your 2d6. Is it 2 attacks or is it just 1?
I can only do 1, right? Best I took a 5-foot step.
5-foot step does not inhibit a full attack. However, I will tell you,
Okay, then.
just because you already rolled, I will tell you this, that you barely hit, and so if you had the penalty from rapid shot, you would have not hit. So I will
I'm
let
just
you
keeping that
keep
at
the
that
attack.
shot.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is, what, 13 damage?
Plus the base.
Plus the
Don't
base.
you have point blank shot?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that
so that's
is
an
a
extra
+1.
Okay. So that's going
Yeah,
to be
just plus
13
1.
plus 1 for that, plus 1 for the bow, and then plus 2 for the bane as well. Because the bane it increases the enhancement bonus by 2. So okay, so that'll be a 16. So it hits the zombie right in the chest, and it gurgles a little bit. You can see a little bit of the coagulated blood begin to ooze out of its body, but it makes no other reaction to that. I mean, the arrow sizzles as it hits it, but the zombie does not go down. It seems to relish the pain that you're inflicting upon it. Nomad, it is your
Cool.
turn.
Okay.
The sleet storm next to you is inhibiting any vision into the side, but you can tell that it's definitely a bit colder where you're at. You're able to make out the burning skeleton right here, this one, and other than that, you can't see into the snow. Jasper, you're on deck, so be ready.
I'll turn until I make you fly.
That's definitely a thing.
I think I'm right where I need to be, thanks. I'm going to try to trip the morgue.
Okay. Okay. With a crash, the morgue drops to the ground. And, with a small crunch of bones, it looks at you with, interest. As it says, I see there's somebody else who likes to prepare their victims before they have their way with them. You will make a great addition to my posse.
I will not respond. I will
Okay.
just stare at him.
Jasper, it is your turn.
So the flaming skelly boy has not been affected by the sleet storm, right?
That one is not in the sleet storm, no. The one up here is. This one stepped out of it.
Is it still on fire?
Yes, the sleet storm did not put it
Yeah.
out, but if it explodes while it's inside the sleet storm, it will have no effect.
I would like to cast Drench on this flaming skelly right next to me.
Okay. Are you going to move at all? Otherwise, you will provoke an attack of opportunity from this zombie.
Well, won't moving away from it provoke, or is it still?
You can take a 5-foot
floor.
step, which will not provoke an attack.
Ah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, I will go ahead and I will take a 5-foot step diagonally, and then I will cast Drench.
Okay. Is there a save associated with that?
Nope, I just make water, pour on it, and it douses fires
Okay.
and such.
All right, you cover the skeleton in water, and at least for a time, that will staunch the fire enough that it likely will not be able to fully explode.
A little help here.
Yeah, Malith, your turn.
I would actually like to use my Holy Water Jet exploits
Okay.
on that same flaming skeleton.
Okay. Are
It
you gonna?
can make a reflex save to have the damage, but
What is the DC?
does the bless count to add anything to this or not?
It does not. It will just be your.
Okay, then 17.
Okay. Yeah, it fails to save. How much damage does it do?
Okay, so I think it's 3d8 plus my charisma mod, so 3d8 plus 4. Let me figure out which one. There's the 8.
You should be able to right click it and select 3 dice. Nice.
Ooh.
18 plus 4, so 22.
Okay. As your jet of holy water strikes the skeleton, it crumples to the ground and it explodes in like an eighth of an inch away from its body. So it's like you can see the explosion starting and just it's not able to go anywhere. There's enough water drenched over it that it is able to prevent it from having any effect to you or Hestia.
You see Jasper quickly turn over to you, almost kind of wide-eyed, and he just gives you a very quick nod.
Malith is just gonna like nod at him with a smile.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Perception.
Okay.
Oh!
Never mind. And you even have a very high bonus on perception.
Oh, that hurts. Oh.
That was a pain. That's a pain. That's sad. It's very sad.
Okay. All right.
I still have my move action, right?
Yes, you still have
Or
your
my
move action.
movement.
If you
Okay, you mentioned something.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope.
No, you go ahead.
I have nothing to say. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask what you were saying earlier about the flaming sphere with the move action. Like, did you say I could
it is
redirect?
it is a
powers?
move action to redirect your flaming sphere.
Okay, can I do that to the zombie boy that's by me?
Yep. Okay. You move it over to him and makes a reflex save. The DC is what?
I think that's also 17. So
Okay. So he is not able to resist it. So that will do 3d6 fire damage to him.
3d6. Sweet.
Okay. With
12.
as he's standing there, your ball of fire moves over and begins burning him. You can smell the searing flesh as he again, much like the other one, he doesn't appear to be affected by this in an intellectual way, but he's definitely cooking. So at this point, Nomad, you notice these two skeletons begin to try and stand up. Do you react to them at all?
The burning ones?
Yes, the two burning skeletons that are still in range.
Are they armed?
They are armed with just scimitars.
Okay, I will disarm them.
Okay.
This is at -4.
All right. This is what you can do when you can fully buff up before a fight.
This is
Okay.
my true form.
Yep. Okay, so you disarm them, and then this one rushes into you, and this one moves forward. They do provoke another attack of opportunity each, if you so
Is it my
desire.
turn?
Not yet.
Okay.
It is the skeletons. So they both move in to surround you. Do you take any attack? Do you take the attacks of opportunity there or not?
Yes.
Okay. What do you do?
Sorry, I don't have my damage figured out. I only modify. So I have 3 from Divine Favor, 2 from Sacred Weapon, Okay, yeah. So just the same plus 8, right? Let's see those melee attack rolls.
Mm-hmm. Hit at 21. I think those will both hit. And what kind of damage does your whip do?
It is slashing in silver.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and roll damage, and it'll be at a -5.
Okay. Or wait, whoops. What the frick? Oh, look at that. Look at that high hit. Why? Where? I'm sorry. Where do I reach the? Oh, it's on inventory, right? Wait, no, it's not.
It should
Where,
be
where do
on
I reach this stupid
actions.
dice for my weapons?
It should be on actions. The
Oh, there
D8
we are.
plus 6. Yep.
That damage is going to be plus 8.
Okay.
So 14.
So 10 and 4
Extra
or
damage.
10 and 13.
So
You have your +1 to attack too,
14.
right?
So 16
Yeah,
for
he's
the
got all
first
those in
one.
there.
16 for the first one. 19 for the
Oh,
second.
plus 8, not instead of plus 6. Oh, because of all your extra.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. By the way, for simplicity's sake, you can add on your main sheet, if you want to just do a temporary bonus to strength, you can do a -4 on damage. Or actually, never mind, it doesn't. Okay. Oh yeah, you can just do a -4 and it will modify your bonus. So, okay. 16 and 19. And then -5. All right, so 11 and 14. So both of those take that damage. Let's see. There's 2 burning skeletons left. Let me take these off. All right, so you do enough damage. One of them loses an arm. The other loses, actually, they both just lose an arm from that. And they come in, and with their remaining arms, they both claw at you. Though neither is able to hit. Okay. Hestia, it is your turn.
I'm going to hold. Yeah, just hold my action.
Okay. All right. Next is the zombies.
Wait.
What?
I'm going to cast Ghostbane Dirge on Nomad.
What does that do?
I'm going to turn him incorporeal, which makes him take half damage
Okay.
for 1 round per level.
So you turn him incorporeal. And yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The zombies charge at, or this zombie charges at Gabriel again, with an arrow still sticking out of its shoulder. Yeah, this one's going to, seeing that it's unable to affect you, it goes around this way and comes towards Jasper. And then this one just is going to make an attack against Maleth. Do you, there's, I think this one is the only one that provokes an attack of opportunity. Would you take that at all?
No.
Okay. What? Okay. They don't like rolling high, apparently. So, with synchronicity, all 3 zombies strike at each of you and miss horribly. The morgue is none too happy about this, and it says, "You fools. Petty servants. I'll have to deal with them myself if you can't." And he tries to stand up. Does provoke an attack of opportunity from you. Nomad.
Yes, I will take that one.
Okay. And that's your last one this round, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I hate myself.
All right. That is actually not a hit.
Yeah.
Ah. Okay.
He springs
sucks.
at you, and
Oh, bring it on, son.
yep. Okay, so let's see, 2 attacks. Okay, 12 and 18. So the first attack, he swings at you and it bounces off your armor. The second attack, though, hits, and you're going to take half damage from this. It's going to be 2d8 plus 5. So you take 6 points of damage from that. However, he attempts to grapple you. What is your CMD?
31.
Oh, wow. Yours is higher than his, even.
Surprise, surprise.
He successfully grapples you. And he says, "You're a hard one to get a hold of. But we'll see how well you can resist my allure." And with that, he attempts to... Gosh, what is it? As he gets a hold of you, his tongue shoots forward and crawls down your throat.
No means no.
Make a fortitude save. As he is trying to paralyze you again. Okay.
What?
It does not affect you. You are able to shake it off.
All right.
Okay. The morgue looks very confused and angry at this. Gabriel, your turn. Nomad, you're on deck.
Excuse me. Okay.
Does his tongue leave my body after that?
Yeah, it retracts.
Okay, I'll spit in his face.
Yeah, some of that spit includes some of the venom he tried to leave in there. So
So I'm taking a 5-foot step there,
okay.
and I'm going to shoot the morgue twice.
Okay, that is a hit both times.
Okay.
I presume you have
So-
precise shot, right?
I do.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yep. Then that is a hit both times. Give me damage. That'll be the 1d8 plus, or just roll 2d8 plus 4d6, and then you'll add 8 to that.
Plus
Oh,
46.
minimum. Holy minimum damage, Batman.
I
And then
know.
Plus 8 total. Okay,
That's
so
what-
23 points of damage. As it... Oh, actually, wait. Let me double check the morgue if he has any DR. Nope, he does not have DR. Not like skeletons. Okay, so your 2 arrows strike the morgue, and Nomad, as he's grappling you, you can feel the concussive force as the arrows hit the morgue, and you can smell the searing flesh as the area around the arrows kind of recedes in a very... It's almost like they're... Gosh, what's it called? It's just corroding away from where the arrows hit. And the morgue lashes out in pain. His tongue actually reaches out and catches one of the guards over here, and doesn't kill him, but you can definitely see the guard get pulled down, or the soldier get pulled down and yell out in pain as well. Okay, Jasper, Nomad, you're up. You are currently being grappled by the morgue. What do you do?
So if you're grappled, sorry, I'm not familiar with being grappled rules. It says you can break the grapple with a combat maneuver check.
Yeah, you would make a combat maneuver check to oppose his grapple, and then, or to oppose his CMD. And if you succeed, then you're able to throw him off, or you can try and make a melee attack.
Will I have a penalty for making a melee attack?
Not if it's against him.
Okay. Would there be anything I could do to prevent him from using his tongue while we're so intimately close with each other? Is there any kind of, like, something I could do just to, like, I don't know, try to, like, grab his tongue or something like that?
Yeah, you
Instead
could
of a
make
melee
a.
attack?
So what you could do as a melee attack, I would let you try and grab his tongue, and if you're able to, so yeah, I'll let you make an attack roll against his tongue, a touch attack, and if you succeed, I'll let you make a strength check, and you could try and break it.
I'll see if any of you guys can understand this reference. Grab his tongue and twist it! Twist his tongue!
What?
Yeah, I'm not getting a reference there.
No, I'm not. I'm not seeing you on that. Sorry.
I'll tell you guys after the stream, Biz. This is a more family-friendly stream, right?
Yeah.
Probably more family friendly
Yeah.
than what you're going to share. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So
Would there be, for like an easier chance, is there any way that I can just at least hold his tongue for now, rather than trying to rip it out? I would just like to try to prevent him from using it rather than try to just.
yeah,
rip it
I mean,
out.
same thing. Make the touch attack to grab the tongue.
Am I going to roll that? Do I just roll melee for that?
Yeah. It'll be some of the bonuses won't be there, but it's as a touch, it's going to be fine. So you're able to get a hold of his tongue. So he's still grappling you pretty effectively, but you've got a hold of his tongue. Did you want to try and break it or just leave it?
So on my right hand, I actually have a wrist dagger.
Okay.
Kind of like an Assassin's Creed type thing.
Yep.
Can I begin to try to cut it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say that you did that as part of that attack. So go ahead and roll damage for the dagger. Okay. So you start ripping your way through it. What's your strength bonus right now, actually?
That'll be +6, or sorry, 7.
Okay.
His strength.
Oh, okay. You actually, as you have the dagger out, is the dagger magical at all, or is it just a masterwork?
That's just a masterwork.
Okay. So you almost completely cut through the tongue. And you've got it, I presume, much closer to his face than the tongue goes out. You didn't just grab it at the end.
Right. Yeah, I would
Yep.
have grabbed it like
As
yeah,
close
right
to the base
butt
as you
near his
could.
mouth.
Okay. Jasper, it's your turn.
So I have that weapon ray training.
Yep. So just any of your
Um,
ray attacks, they'll get an extra +1.
So if I were to do my 5-foot movement to here,
Yep.
even though Nomad is technically right there and they're grappled, would I still be able to target the tongue of
The tongue would be a very, very difficult called shot right now. You could target the morgue. You would take a -4 because he's grappling Nomad. But at the same time, it is a touch, and so it's easier to hit there. So you have a few different options on that. But yeah, he would be harder to hit just because he is currently grappling Nomad.
Well, hold on. So
Yep.
what if, because I just want to be familiar with the mechanics, it's different from 5e.
Mhm.
So what if I were to use a swift action to basically give Undead Bane to one of my crossbow bolts, fire crossbow bolt? I mean, obviously the tongue is very slim. It'd be a hard shot anyway, but what would be the math for
So
trying
that
to
would be a
land that
ranged
shot?
attack, And for comparison, since you don't have the feet precise shot, then you're going to take a -4, whatever your ranged attack is, whether it's a crossbow bolt or something or a ray. The difference is that your crossbow would be trying to hit his regular AC, whereas your ray would be hitting his touch AC, which ignores his armor.
Right. Okay, so what I will do then is I will, I'll do that 5-foot
Okay.
step down, and then I will use the ray attack on the morgue. And my understanding is that because it's a modified version of a cure spell, it's not an attack roll, but rather it's a.
It is a ray. It turns it into a ray, I believe.
Oh, so it is an attack roll.
It is an attack roll.
Okay.
Yeah, a ray will always be an attack roll.
Okay.
I
So
think
he
it's
does
if you're
get to do-
melee range that it would be not that. So I mean, the other thing you could do if you were willing to take a hit is you could move up to here. You would take 1 attack of opportunity, and possibly 2 actually, because this one's right there. You could take 2 attacks of opportunity potentially from the ghouls, which you might be able to deal with, might not. But then you could get to here and you would be able to just cast it on him, which I believe would be just an auto hit.
I can make auto hit and then take half damage. Is what it's described as doing. So, could I grab his tongue if I did that?
If you want to grab his tongue, you'll have to make an attack roll. But yeah, I would let you do that. We'll have
Let's
to
do
double
that.
check in your thing. Okay, so I'm gonna have
Let's do
the
that.
2
Why not?
zombies make an attack at you. One of them absolutely flubs. The other hits you, and you're gonna take. They had their weapons disarmed, so you're just gonna take 5 points of damage from that. But you get up here.
I'll add that.
Go ahead and make your attack roll.
All right, and we're gonna have that include my dexterity bonus or my intelligence.
For the sake of right now, let's do your intel. Just make an intelligence roll plus your BAB.
Plus my BAB.
So just intelligence roll plus 3. We'll have to
Oh,
double
okay.
check exactly. I know I need to read into a little bit more of how that ability of yours works, but for the sake of right now,
All right, 23.
that is a hit.
Does that barely hit?
No, that's
Well,
a
it's
so
touch,
you
that's
reach
right.
out and you grab a hold of his tongue and cast the spell. Now, as I recall, it was you can. Do you have it on your
Yeah,
character sheet?
if it's a ray, yeah, it should be in the positive touch thing. If it's a ray, then it's full damage. If it's touch, then it's an automatic hit. It's different in this situation since I'm going specifically for the tongue, and then it's half damage, which would be 8, 13. So it's just 6. It's just 6 damage.
No, that does not sound right. If
Okay.
you're at range, that's that. But I know we looked at it before. So if you're, how much? Gosh, dang it! I was just looking at it. How much damage does it do?
Oh, it's
Oh,
one.
it's cure
It's
spell.
one d8, but I do max because of my class ability.
Okay,
So
That's
that's
what it
8
was.
plus 5.
Yeah,
So
there's-
13.
the half damage is not. We'll do the 13 right now. I still need to
Sounds
look into that
good.
ability. I remember that ability was
It's
worded really
there's a
weird.
lot. There's a lot into
Yeah.
it. There's so many random little
Yeah,
things.
we'll take a look at it. But
13.
Okay, so
Just
13
blast
damage.
His tongue off.
Yeah, so Nomad was making his way cutting through it, and you grab just below where he was cutting, so there's blood splurting out of the tongue, and you grab near the same spot and just channel that positive energy in, and it actually almost creates a small bit of a chain reaction in the tongue as the blood is starting to spurt out, and then you pretty much shove the positive energy in there, and the morgue almost It doesn't look like his innards explode, but just about.
Good.
So he is not dead, but he is at this point covered in his own gore.
Wait, is he detongued?
Yes, he is detongued.
Hardcore, dude.
Nice work, Master.
Never underestimate an equestrian. He doesn't say that, by the way.
Okay.
What's an equestrian?
A horse rider, because I'm on a horse.
Oh, you still are?
Yeah.
Oh, are you?
Oh, I forgot about that.
I thought I was. I rode in on my horse. I don't know.
It'd be hard to do this whole maneuver with being on the horse.
He channeled it through his horse's teeth.
Maybe,
It is a
maybe
magic
I-
horse after all.
Maybe I got off my horse. I dismounted.
Okay.
Now it's at the mercy of those two zombies. How about
That's a
that?
magic horse. It's fine. Okay. Right, Maleth, it's your turn. The morgue is now reeling from having its tongue practically exploded through a combination of blood pressure and positive energy. It is still grappling Nomad at the moment. There are 3 zombies and 2 burning skeletons left.
Okay. I am going to use my last magic missile on the morgue that's grappling Nomad.
Okay.
Hello? Okay, I wasn't sure if you heard me or not. My headphones
Yeah, go ahead. Roll your
messing up
roll your
at the same
damage for
time.
it.
Yeah, I think it's 3d4 at my level.
Mhm.
Yeah.
3d4 plus 3. Okay.
Yeah, not as good as I'd hope, but whatever.
Nonetheless, the beads of beads of force shoot from your fingertips and streak through the morgue, disconnecting its jaw from its body. And it is still grappling you, Nomad, but it goes limp. And the light fades from its eyes. And with that, the 2 skeletons that were right next to it begin to turn and flee, though this one is less so. Because of the sleet storm. Hestia, it is your turn.
How close is the morgue to death?
It appears to either be dead or on the cusp of death. Though many undead sometimes tend to come back if you don't kill them thoroughly enough.
I trust Nomad will do that.
There are still 3 zombies close by.
I'm gonna move up here. And then I'm going to cast a spell.
Okay, what spell? Okay, you cast Produce Flame.
Alright, I'm
Who
going
that?
to.
Oh, also, real quick, while you're doing that, Maleth, can you roll damage? The fire was still on top of that other zombie.
Which of the zombies looks
Oh,
the
yeah, I
most
was-
dead?
I was wondering about that because
It'll be on your turn that it'll do damage every time.
It's 3d6.
Yes.
Sweet.
So on Maleth's turn, this one was consumed by flame and collapsed to the ground. The one that's smaller over here looks more weakened. The other one doesn't look injured yet. So I guess the one to the left looks more injured. It has an arrow sticking out of its shoulder.
Okay, I'm gonna attack that.
Okay. Yeah. I'll roll that damage. Okay. And as the fire hits it, it also collapses.
Surprised it didn't rekindle.
Alright, that is all but one of the zombies
Really?
out of the fight. And all but one of the skeletons. Okay. The morgue collapses and falls off of you, Nomad.
Okay.
Crumples to the ground as if dead. Gabriel, it's your turn. You going to do anything, or
Well, we still have this one that's
Yep.
next to
There's one more.
Jasper. That's a regular zombie, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Take him down.
I'm gonna take out my my war axe. I'm gonna charge it.
Okay.
Best, why not?
All right, give me an attack, or I'm just going to say for the sake of time and circumstance that you lunge forward and behead it without issue.
Melee's him, gives him another negative level.
Oh man, that would not be fun. Okay, so you can see the rest of the undead that were connected to the morgue begin to retreat, and cheers go up in the soldiers that are still standing. You notice nearby a hill giant. However, as it sees you, as it sees the morgue, it turns as if being called somewhere else and goes away from the city.
Like directly away, or
Yes.
away to join like another enemy line?
Directly away. Disengaging from the fight. So, out of initiative order, what do you guys do?
We're
Jasper,
sorry, go ahead.
Jasper very quickly rushes down to the morgue's body and facing away from the party towards the morgue, he pulls out that item from the last session.
Okay. Do you want to describe?
I will. Sorry, go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead.
Just for good measure, I just want to stomp the morgue skull and crush it.
Okay. Yep.
Did the soldiers look like they need help, or have they routed the undead by now?
They are very much not routing the undead. They're pretty much barely holding them back. You can, as you look back, you see probably about a third, if not half, the soldiers have fallen at this point. They've taken with them at least as many undead, but they've been holding back more as a defensive measure than as an offensive measure, and the horde of undead is pressing in. So you probably, if you don't move quickly, then you'll probably start being overrun from the undead that were avoiding the morgue previously.
I'm going to toss some healing spells onto some of the people who are
Okay.
almost fallen.
All right.
Is there any officers nearby that I may issue orders to?
Yes, there are 2 officers still standing.
Okay. If I can, I'll let them know that we. Oh wait. Oh, hold on.
Yep.
So we came down by ropes, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yikes. That's going to be difficult. Okay, so I'll tell him to begin retreating back to the city. Men with the swordsmen should go first, while pikemen and archers cover the retreat as best as they can while they disengage.
Okay.
And then afterwards, once the men with the shortest weapons are gone, then they should start retreating as well. And we'll just do their best to support them.
Okay. Jasper, nobody else is paying enough attention to gather anything from what you're doing, so you finish it. You do your thing, and is there anybody else who's going to do anything other than retreat?
I turn dead.
They're just there to protect us, so shouldn't we call out that they can retreat?
Yeah, that's what Jasper or Nomad was just saying. Jasper, what did you say?
Sorry.
As I head, back towards Fairwayn, and I turn undead to make them scatter left, right, and
Okay.
away from Fairwayn.
So you get to a good position, and you send many of the undead just fleeing, and help to open up the retreat for your soldiers. Everybody.
I
make
tell
it-
Jasper to do that after the swordsman retreat, when the pikemen and archers start to retreat.
Okay.
I've got plenty more. I'll do it as many times as you like.
Go ahead and make a perception check if anyone would like, as you're retreating.
I just made a perception check. I want to see what's going on with a storm giant.
Okay. Yeah. Give me the perception. Oh yes. So Malith
Nat 20.
actually. Oh really? Nat 20 as well. Okay. All three of you are able to see. You turn as the storm giant begins to fall. Malith and Gabriel, you actually have a pretty good view. There is somebody or something on the back of the storm giant. And pretty much as the storm giant falls, they're dropping down. It almost looks like they planted a blade in the back of the storm giant and just dropped to the ground, like pulling the blade down with them, if that makes sense. And you can hear a thump as the storm giant hits the ground. Okay. Yeah, so you make your way back to the city wall, and let's see. Would you have kept
Big
your horse
battles.
around, Jasper? Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Jasper, would you have kept your horse around, or did you dismiss it?
I didn't dismiss it. I dismounted to.
Okay. It would be difficult with the enclosing undead for you to get around the city wall. But you can make an attempt if you want. I mean, at the same time, you could also just turn undead as you're riding past them to keep them away from you. But I'll let you decide if you want to risk that or try and scale the wall.
I think I'll dismiss my horse and scale the wall.
Okay. It's going to take you a bit of time, and the undead are closing in on the walls, but you're able to get up right before they get to there. And you notice that Lord Bellevant and about half of his retinue also are able to make it up to the top of the wall. And that is where we will end tonight. As undead crash against the wall.
You guys were beautiful today.
Well
You were
done,
working
everyone.
hard.
I didn't get hit once.
A successful sortie. If Nomad has
Soldiers
ever
died.
seen it,
If
I'm glad we all survived.
What was that, Hestia?
How many
How many soldiers died?
With the group with you, probably somewhere in the range of 30 to 40.
could I have before? Sorry, go ahead.
And it was able to help any of them that
Yes.
were close to death to come back.
Yep. But I mean, you guys were able to have probably about 2/3 of the group that was with you make it back to the city wall and make it to the top as well. And as you look
Before I
out,
left,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
Could I have just channeled energy so, like, in case anyone was, just like unconscious or anything like that, like just barely on the threshold, they could have gotten up really quick and maybe
There
had
were
a chance to make
there
the
were
wall.
actually 2 or 3, including the one that had gotten attacked by the morgue, and by the tongue attack before you ripped it off. You were able to save him as well. So
Okay, cool.
yep.
Fine job. Good job figuring out Fantasy Grounds maps and battles and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, shout out, Parley put together this map.
Ooh.
So
Well done, Parley.
Thank
yeah,
you.
I don't know if you guys got a good view of it. We kind of just focused on one spot, but there's a nice ravine that we were closed in on.
Yeah, I just zoomed out to look at it.
I guess I probably could have had this with bigger squares so we could use the terrain more, but we'll do terrain. Maybe I'll be able to reuse this map in another location so we can actually utilize more of it later.
Yeah.
It's useful.
It's definitely not the same without Sin. It's less
It's
less
not.
funny.
Yes.
I
He's
miss him.
Oh,
Miss him too.
and I guess I forgot to do this part, but what he would in essence tell you guys is that he needs to take some time on his own, and he's going to stay in the city of Barrowayne for now.
He would have been
Jasper, let's
foaming at the mouth at taking the morgue with him if he was here. Sorry, go ahead,
Yeah,
Jess.
no, you're good.
Jasper lets out a sigh of relief as Sin explains that he will be, not with us anymore.
And
Will
here I
Sin
thought
be
it was
able to
Maleth. He
offer
just
healing?
What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What, Mela?
I was just saying your relief over Sin. I was like, I thought Maleth was the one he disliked, not Sin. But
Oh, also speaking of that,
I mean, you
Mela,
are undead garbage,
Yeah.
but,
Whoa.
Sin would have told you that as so long as he stays alive, you don't need to be close to him. He's able to, because he brought you back, he's able to create enough of a buffer to help you retain your autonomy.
okay, cool. That's good. He's safe in Barroway, and I'm not too.
At the moment, at least. I mean, Barrowayne still might fall. You guys got rid of the Storm Giant and the Morgue, but there's still an army of undead pushing against the walls.
I would have given Wrath before he left, actually. Like that brother hug. Like
Mm-hmm.
you take each other's right hand and like clap each other on the shoulder. Even though I couldn't understand him, we knew each other on a much deeper level.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything anyone wants to do before I end the stream? I mean, we can still chat afterwards, but
I do want to make sure that the guy who I put to sleep is still asleep.
we will get to that next time.
Okay. Okay. And then I'm gonna give Sin a hug and Wrath a hug.
That's retroactive, like before the battle, but yes,
Yeah.
granted. Okay. I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you to our viewers. Hope you enjoyed.
Thank you all.
thank you.